provide and take care of you from cradle to grave? Anybody think it's time to get rid of a community organizer from Anybody think you're smart enough to choose your own doctor? Smart enough to connect to the World Wide Web without the government getting involved? Anybody think that what you say on your telephone is none of the government's damn business? You may have noticed we're at somewhat of an impasse in our country. The Republicans control the Congress. The president's sort of in charge of whatever he's doing in the White House. But here's the thing. People say, how can he continue to act in an unconstitutional manner? How do we stop him? And people are frustrated. They say Congress should stop him. You have to realize we are trying, but he has to sign anything we do to try to stop it. So there are problems to stopping it. People say, well, the courts are too slow. We can't wait for the courts. We need to fight him tooth and nail in the courts because of the precedent it sets. It isn't Obamacare that is so bad, although it's really bad. It isn't Dodd-Frank that's so bad, although it's really bad. It isn't all the regulations that are so bad. What is bad is the usurpation of power. One of the greatest things our founders did was to separate the powers into co-equal branches of government. Our founding fathers said that they wished to pit ambition against ambition. The ambition to jealously guard your power for Congress against the ambition of the president to take power. There was an equilibrium. There was a separation of powers. That's what this president is attacking. I was doing an interview yesterday with a journalist, and I use that term loosely. And the question was over and over again. They said, do you think it's fair to put the Homeland Security funding up with your attempt to defund the executive order on amnesty? Yes. That's a good short answer. And what I said over and over again, they didn't seem to get was, what I'm looking for is one Democrat to stand up and say, regardless of the president's party, I'm going to stand up for the Constitution. But so far, I'm hearing crickets from the Democrats. Not a word, not a Democrat will stand up and say that the president doesn't get to write laws. Only the legislature writes laws. Montesquieu was one of the philosophers that Jefferson and others looked to. And Montesquieu said, when the executive begins to legislate, a form of tyranny will ensue. That's what I'm worried about. It isn't even this president, although I'm worried about him. I'm worried about the next president, the next president. I'm worried about the checks and balances. And I'll tell you a quick story. You remember Kelo? Case, the Supreme Court case, where the Supreme Court says you can take private property from one person and give it to another if the next person's going to pay more in taxes. So if your house isn't worth as much as a department store, they can take your house and put a department store there. If your church isn't paying taxes, they can take your church and put a department store there. And I remember the conversation I had with one of my local officials after that, because we had a vote. We said, you know what? Eminent domain should only be used for public purposes. And the local mayor of my town said, well, but I'm a good mayor, and I would never take your land. And I said, it's not about you. The Constitution isn't about one individual. The Constitution isn't about restraining you. The Constitution is about restraining government. Liberty is infectious. We can spread it. Freedom is popular. We can spread it. But we need to be the party that's not concerned just with one or two of the amendments. We need to be the party of the entire Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is not for the prom queen. The Bill of Rights is not for the high school quarterback. The Bill of Rights is for those who might be unpopular. The Bill of Rights is for those who might not look like the rest of us. I tell people you can be a minority because of the shade of your skin or the shade of your ideology. You can be somebody who chooses to be different and teach your kids at home. You can be somebody who's different and chooses to go to a church that believes in right and wrong. The thing is, the Bill of Rights needs to protect all of us and the least among us. Can take the Bill of Rights and take it to people who haven't been listening to Republicans and say it isn't always about property. It isn't always about guns, although it should support both. Yeah. It's about protecting the least among us. Khalif Browder, the 16-year-old boy, was accused of a crime. He's from the Bronx. He was accused of a crime. He spent 3 years in prison without ever being tried. He tried to commit suicide 4 times. Khalif Browder is a young African-American male in the Bronx. You think his friends and his family don't understand and believe that big government's not treating them fairly? So when you say big government, what? Remember, it's not just about business and taxes and balanced budgets. It's about individuals like Khalif Browder who deserve to have a timely trial. And in America, we need to remember that the least among us deserve justice. We need to be the party for justice. Our message to resonate across the land, if we want our message to be inclusive, I tell people, look, the Republican Party needs to look like America. White, black, brown, rich, poor, with tattoos or without tattoos, with earrings and without earrings. We need to take our message where it's not been taken before. We need to take our message boldly, and we need to be boldly for what we are for. We don't need to be Democrat light. We don't need to dilute our message. We need to be boldly for what we are for. But as we take our message across America, we should remember the words of Robert Henry, who was a painter, who said to young painters, he said, paint like a man coming over the hill singing. This is usually where I sing, but my wife tells me don't sing. But I like that image. Paint like a man coming over the hill singing. We need to be the party of optimism. We need to be the party that says every person in America will have a job. Every person in America will work, not as punishment, but as reward. The only way you get self-esteem self-esteem is you earn it. No one can give you self-esteem. But where I differ from some who say that those who are on unemployment insurance or those who are on welfare don't want a job, I don't believe it for a moment. We need to be the party that goes to those and says, we will provide jobs. I think if we proclaim our message with the passion of Patrick Henry, and if we proclaim our message like like a man coming over the hill singing, then we'll be the dominant party again. I want to be part of it, and I hope you do too. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that report from the Blues Movers channel. Please remember to subscribe.